Hey everybody, it's your pal Drew Dracy. I'm back already. Well, let's get to some comics for my spinner rack. Some of them I just got on Saturday. They're going to find a home in my spinner rack. I was at the Mid Georgia Comic Con in Macon, Georgia, and home of Elsbeth, the actress who plays Elsbeth, Carrie Preston, I think. That's a fun show. So I think this is a Sal Buscema cover because that her figure there screams Sal Buscema. I wouldn't have really known otherwise. Love that Skull Cycle. Man, when Johnny Blaze got that Skull Cycle, which I don't even know when he got it. I think it just showed up one issue. I loved it as a kid because I could draw it. You know, I didn't have to worry about doing, the gas tank and the pipes and all that stuff. So anyway, we're part two of a story where Johnny Blaze is the stunt driver for a guy named the Stunt Master, who used to be a stuntman, but now he's a TV and movie hero, and so he can't do his own, his own tricks because insurance. So here comes Johnny Blaze, and he's turned into Ghost Rider because things are going bad. Back then, it was sort of like a spider sense. And it's really neat stuff. Bob Brown is doing some incredible stuff here. And he is so maligned. Him and Don Heck both. The Bob Brown, when he was on the Avengers, it wasn't the greatest because not everybody is built for team books. Team books are very hard. Not everybody is like George Perez or the Buscema brothers. So, but on single characters, much like Ghost Rider, Daredevil, and the Torpedo even, Bob Brown excelled. So anyway, I love this. He's trying to get on the ladder, trying to land, and that's a great skid right there in the middle there. And this guy is just moving wardrobe, and thankfully it stops him. So he has to go after Orb, who is kidnapping Karen Page, and she made a career being kidnapping at this point. She got kidnapped in Daredevil for a while. She got kidnapped in issue 13, 2 issues prior to this, and then she's a professional hostage, which is ridiculous. I know. I like the costume on Ghost Rider too. It's just a change of pace. And I love that he cranks up the cycle. You don't see that kind of pose very often. So Bob Brown, he can draw pretty much everything. So he's on the chase after Orb, who one of my favorite characters, even though there's not much to him. He just has a hypnotic big old eye. Coot Collier, who was the producer of the show, he's getting up from after Johnny Blaze smacked him. He goes, Blaze had that shot coming. I acted like a jerk. In the old days, a dozen guys would have knocked me down for mouthing off like that. What are you staring at, mister? Go grab a car. We're going to assist that fine, upstanding psychomaniac. So here comes the guards. And the guy says, wait till I tell Coot Collier. What? He's in a car. Coot Collier rides again. He got himself a shotgun. Really cool stuff. Now, here's something I really dig. But the thing that stinks, though, is the reproduction is bad. I know Don Heck inks very lightly, but this stuff is really dropping off. But I mean, that's such a badass 2-page spread. I love that. And Treasury editions. So, I love just physicality. He catches her in midair. And the Orb tries to get him. No luck. Collier managed to shoot the gun out of Orb's hand. And these 3 panels right there. What a great lead and what great storytelling. And he starts beating the shit out of him. And Karen Page is like, hasn't he suffered enough? And it turns out that the severe scar he came from an accident that he had a long time ago. He ruined his own face trying to kill Blaze's stepfather in a motorcycle race. And then here comes this, he's supposed to be like a Jesus he's actually supposed to be Jesus according to Tony Zabilla, but it's been played down a bit, only because it just seemed very. If you ever heard the term like Ghost, Deus Ex Machina, it's like issue 9. Satan was about to destroy Ghost Rider, and then this Jesus person, this, what do you call that? Not a composite, but you know what I'm saying. He just showed up as a Deus Ex Machina and ended the story, and later on he wanted this Jesus impersonator, I don't know, to actually help finish Satan in issue 19, and it's like he kept showing up all the time, and Jim Shooter actually rewrote it, and I kind of agree with Shooter because it just seems kind of a little too convenient to have, I don't know. So, The Masked Man, this was a fun series, only lasted 9 issues, but by B.C. Boyer. And Eclipse, really nice stuff. There is a dead gallant masked man's hand, and they were engaged to be wed. So we go back, flashback. The woman, her father left early when she was a child, and mom had a lot of gentleman callers come by, and they would go in another part of the house for a while, and then when they came out, she would get money from them. She didn't understand why, and I thought that was pretty interesting, the way to put it that way. So this woman Maggie, the one doing the voiceover, she's near death. So we're seeing her background. It cuts back to she's jumped, Barn. She jumped. She's having a hard time breathing, Barn. Well, anyway, this one high roller. Maggie tried to go straight, and she actually was a waitress for a while, but this big mob boss wanted her to come, and it's like, if you enjoy breathing, you don't refuse an invitation from Manfred. So he took her on the road for a while, and she couldn't, that night it became his girl. He made me quit my job so I could be with him all the time. So just horrible people she said she was around. And in comes this knight in shining armor, as she calls him, and it's the Masked Man. And she actually pretended to be blinded so she could gain sympathy from him, and so she's learned from growing up, like, how to manipulate others, and it's not so much as she's evil, it's just that was her defense system in getting through life with horrible childhood. So I love that splash page at the top, or splash panel. So she's dead, and Masked Man does it. He hangs up his cowl for like 4 months, and his pal Barney and Barney's mom says, "Get out there and do something." And there's this guy who spent 15 years in prison. He was a crook, and he's going to go straight. And of course, the guards don't believe him because they hear that from everybody. I just love that outfit. It's definitely a homage to Will Eisner in the spirit, and B.C. Boyer makes no bones about it. So, but these other thugs that know him, they think he's just being a wuss, or it's ridiculous that you're going to expect anybody to wait for you 15 years. He's talking about a girlfriend that he had. So there's this battle that takes place within let me see, one second, within a camper, and gets knocked, goes down the road. This guy's like, "I spent years waiting for the bank construction site with this trailer like this, years. So, see, I told you life ain't fair, nothing works for us, nothing." So he goes, "Yeah, I guess you call us high school sweethearts, but somehow I wound up on the wrong side of the law. Before I went to prison, we said our goodbyes. Dandelion gave me a rose, like she always did. Of course, after all the years, I don't blame her if she didn't stay. I told her if she wanted me to stay, she should leave a rose under the big tree at the end of the main street where we had our first kiss. If I don't see one, then I'll move on. That's where I was heading till I got sidetracked by you guys. So there's just like chaos going on inside, and Masked Man is so out of it still. He's still crushed by by the death of his fiance. So the camper keeps going. Craziness ensues. More craziness. And I like the colors a lot too. Like, what the? Hey guys, over there. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Look. And there's a huge batch of roses at this tree. And they're all pretty happy, aren't they? Hi, I'm BC Boyer. I write and draw these stories. I know it's strange to make an appearance like this, but I have to tell you something. Something even Dick and Barney don't know about. You see, my friends, due to low circulation of the Masked Man, you hold in your hands the final issue. I could have told you a letter column, but I thought it'd be better. I wish we could stay together longer. Hey, BC. Did you see that? What a great ending. Yeah, it was, Sniff. I love you, Dick. I love you, Barney. I love you guys, too. Goodbye. I thought that was a very charming way to end the series. It's a charming series. I picked this up as a lark for like $1 this past Saturday because I love the lineup. Rhino, Nitro, Super Skrull, Titanium Man. Don't know who that guy is. I don't care. But it's a lot of fun. I mean, that's crazy 90s stuff. But what's weird is the artist, Tom Grindberg, he is a chameleon. He could do so many styles. So he's doing sort of like, like the, what do you call, like the Image kind of style. But he also, he kind of jumps around to different styles. I mean, that's definitely Image. I like that a lot. This where my thumb is. But then there's moments where I love that. Like that middle panel, that's got a very Mike Mignola feel to it to me. And you'll see that pop up here and there. And originally, Tom Grindberg started off as a Neil Adams clone with X Factor annual number 2. And I love Titanium Man. Don Heck designed him way back in the day. And I know Bob Layton redesigned a different Titanium Man in around 86 or 87, but I still sort of like the old. I have like a huge bust of him. That first panel, that pose is very Mike Mignola. And all stuff going on. Pretty cool. A lot of fun. Ron Mars writing. I worked with him on Sojourn at CrossGen, and I just love the lineup. I'm gonna have to pick up the previous issue. Silver Surfer, he shows up to help save them, and that is, I was going to say Captain Marvel Jr., but that's another company. His name was Captain Marvel for a while. He was the son of Marvel, and he changed his name to his name is Genis, that's it, Genis. But then he became Legacy for a while, and so they didn't know what to do with it. But then he had a long run by Peter David and Criss Cross. So nice stuff. Nitro's kind of given a interesting name, interesting costume he had there too. Very interesting. So it's implying that he might know that his father got the cancer after fighting Nitro, who blew up a nerve gas pipe. So it's a little sinister, but it's fun. It's not like, sure it's 90s excess. How do you say it? But it was fun. So somehow, I've never seen this before. It's so crazy. Destroyer Duck, created by Steve Gerber and art by Jack Kirby. It was done to raise funds, legal funds for Steve Gerber to own Howard the Duck. And it came to some settlement. I don't know the whole deal, but this is weird. This is the first issue without Gerber or Kirby. And Buzz Dixon, I only know him from the 80s. He did a ton of 80s books as a writer. And Gary Cato, I've seen his stuff here and there, not very often, but Alfredo Alcala is really doing the heavy lifting on this stuff. And I read it, but it didn't really have the feel. It's very zany and non-stop in a lot of ways. I like the coloring a lot. Oh yeah, I think I don't know who did the coloring. Oh, let's see, Odorflaw Colors. I wonder if that's like a pseudonym. But it's okay. It didn't really have the bite that Gerber gave it, and in Kirby as well with his later period, very awkward stuff that was appealing in this kind of format. So I read this and I'm just like, that's okay. But it does have backup with the Starling, written and created by Jerry Siegel, as in Superman, illustrated by Val Mayerick. I've been covering a lot of Val Mayerick lately. So basically, this alien came down, impregnated this woman, and then disappeared. So this kid is the son, and the mother's just horrified. I tell myself love didn't destroy my happiness and my sanity. That's how I fool my readers, because she writes like love stories. But she's pretty miserable. And he transforms into the form of his father. And you've come back to me. That's like, what's wrong? Why are you pushing me away? He's like, Mom, let me go. Mom. Changes back. It's me. I changed myself to look like that because you're cruel, hateful, terrible like him. You deceived me. You want to destroy me. No, Mom, honest. And that's such a real, visceral reaction. If you won't succeed, you fiend, I'll kill you first. But he flies back, and then they talk. And it's real heavy stuff, though. I'd like to see it collected, because I have the previous issues. So, good stuff, good stuff. And speaking of good stuff, Doctor Strange. How about this cover? It's such a trip. Very Michael Golden-like, but it's Butch Guice, or Jackson Guice, as he went for. You know how Jackson Guice came to be? Butch Guice, God rest his soul. I love the guy. He went by Butch Guice most of his life, and most of his life. And Jim Shooter was like, what's your real name? He says, it's Jackson. He goes, okay, you shall be Jackson Guice from now on in the credits. So Butch / Jackson kept that for a while and then went back to Butch. So it's written by Roy Thomas with his wife Dan. D-A-N-N, short for Danette. And man, what's great, here's another thing, just like Tom Grinberg, Butch is also a master of just following different styles, like having different styles in the same book but making it work somehow. Oh man, I love it, I love it, I love it. So we got the Dread Dormammu, and I like that a lot because it reminds me of when Michael Golden was drawing those people who were the time travelers at the end of his run issue 11 or 12. Really neat stuff. The paper, though, it doesn't really match the color. I mean, the coloring looks bad because of the paper. If it was on shiny paper, which I'm usually against shiny paper, but in this case, I think it would have worked better. But still, you get the gist of it. Really beautiful stuff. And then Blammo. Really enjoyable. Oh, and I love this because there's a bit of a Gene Colan influence on this panel here. And like I said, just like Grinberg, Butch was doing this for ages. If you hear a noise in the background, that's because one of my puppies is drinking water. Yeah, see, that's kind of Gene Colan right there in the center. Such a good book. And then you got like the Mignola type flair right there. So, great stuff. Well, I hope you enjoyed these. Let me know what you think. The Doctor Strange, the first 20-some issues of the revival, it started in 1990. Definitely worth getting. Definitely worth getting. Later on, it kind of meanders, but good stuff. And tell me if you even knew that Destroyer Duck had an issue that didn't even have Kirby or Gerber, or Gerby or Kerber. Secret Defenders, it was a treat. It was fun. It was a lark. But it was one of those books I ignored because there was a billion books out at the time during the glut. And Masked Man, have you ever read it before? You have any opinions? And Ghost Rider. So anyway, that's all. That's all I know. Let me know what you think. Leave comments below. Let me know if what your favorite era of some of these comics are, and please hit like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications, and please double check because YouTube is doing its shenanigans. Yeah, so tell me what you think, and have a good day, everybody.